Stop people pleasing for 1 week, just 7 days, and watch your life get better. I'm talking, wow, did I just say no without spiraling into guilt for 48 hours? Kind of better. So I was a serial people pleaser. I said yes to everything. I was scared to say no for fear that people would stop liking me. I might lose my friends, or my boss might just get mad at me for saying no. But the day I really said no, it changed my life for the better. Like, I'm talking real better. Because here's the thing. Many of us think people pleasing is being nice, just being nice. You have to be nice. But really, it's emotional, like self-neglect with a little bit of social anxiety, in my opinion. Like, we're talking about what happens when you stop performing and start telling the truth unapologetically. So even if your voice trembles like a baby deer, as mine did when I began to say no, that's okay. And today I'm going to give you the 7 steps that you can do in 1 week to build your confidence comfortably and effortlessly when you say no. So let's go. Now, before we get into the steps though, we first have to unpack what happens emotionally and in our social environments when we begin to say no and stop people pleasing, or when we at least begin to try. Now, the first time you say, actually, I'm not okay with that, your voice will shake. It'll feel like you just committed a crime, and it will feel like the people pleaser police are literally gonna knock on your door and be like, girl, ma'am, did you just set a boundary? But here's the thing, that shaky voice, that's not weakness, okay? That's your real voice trying to find its way back home. So through that, you're probably gonna over-explain, apologize 17 times, and maybe send a follow-up text that says, laugh out loud, I hope that didn't come off too rude. And that's okay, because that is all part of the detox. Once you get comfortable saying no, you will do less of that. What you're feeling is withdrawal from approval addiction. And baby, that's a drug that you need to wean yourself off of. After that, your body will search for what we call peace, okay? But it will grapple with fake peace versus real peace. So what do I mean by that? Fake peace is what you feel when you say yes, even though every cell in your body is screaming, we don't want to go to brunch with Carol and crew today. Fake peace is when you smile, nod, and agree, and then go and vent with your other friend about why you keep doing this to yourself. And now you have to sit through a boring brunch with a bunch of people talking a bunch of nonsense. It looks calm on the outside, but on the inside, you're boiling, you're bitter, and you're plotting or trying to figure out every way that you can get out of going to that brunch. But this is what real peace looks like. It's saying no and letting people be mildly disappointed. It's not replying right away, and it's turning your phone off or on do not disturb and actually meaning it and not getting in your head about it. It's realizing that your worth isn't in your compliance. It's just in your clarity. Okay. Now, when you stop people pleasing, you might lose some people. Okay, let me rephrase that. You will lose some people, but hear me. Those aren't losses. Those are just exits, because the people who only liked you when you were convenient, they were never really with you. You get what I'm saying? They were the version of They were the version of you that bent, shrank, and smiled through discomfort, right? Those are the people that you need to let go and let them get out of your system, because your healed self doesn't know anyone the performance your unhealed self gave them. You get what I'm saying here, right? This is when you start attracting people who say, thanks for being honest, Kiz, or thanks for telling me your boundaries or setting boundaries with me, or thanks for not faking it and being real with me, Kiz. Because growth makes your circle smaller at first, but infinitely realer. And that's better. Now, telling the truth isn't rude. Let me dispel this myth. It's respectful. It says, I value this relationship enough to stop lying in it. When you say, I can't take that on right now, or that doesn't work for me, you're not being mean, you're not being rude, you're just being clear and honoring your feelings. Clarity is kindness. So telling the truth is actually one of the most loving things that you can do for yourself and for others. Because, of course, I have to keep it real. People can feel when you're being fake. People know when you're being fake. People know when you're lying. Okay? They may not call you out on it, but the energy will shift, because nobody wants to just be tolerated. They want to be chosen, right? So give them the gift of the truth, of your truth, even if it feels awkward. Actually, especially when it feels awkward. Let's get into the fun stuff. Let's go through my 7-day truth-telling protocol. Now, try this for 7 days. And I call this my truth-telling detox. And you can start this any day of the week. You just got to go and stick with it for 7 days. Now, on day 1, say no to something. Anything that comes up on day 1 in your life, say no. Saying no is your boundary boot camp, okay? It teaches your nervous system that safety doesn't live in overcommitting, okay? So decline something, decline the walk, decline the group chat, skip the plans for going to dinner. Say no to a favor that you literally just don't have time for. Yes, you will feel guilty in the beginning, but then you'll also feel relief because, well, the world won't end when you say no. Trust me, I promise. Day 2, don't apologize for any boundaries that you set on day 2. Sorry waters down your no and makes the truth sound like a crime. It downgrades your no. Say, that doesn't work for me, and then stop. Breathe through the silence. You might want to over-explain. I get it. Please don't. Just let people sit with your clarity. Now, day 3, pause before saying yes to something. People pleasers like to say yes on autopilot, but this interrupts the pattern. Buy yourself time. Pausing buys yourself time. Say, let me check and get back to you. Then actually sit with yourself and check in with yourself. Do I really want to do this? You may feel awkward at first, but it's empowering to delay approval seeking. So give yourself time. Day 4, tell someone how you actually feel. Whenever that might come up, tell them how you actually feel, because what do we talk about? Truth. Honesty builds intimacy and trust, even if it's uncomfortable, right? People know when you're lying. Say, I've been meaning to share something, and then just say it. Short and sweet. Keep it simple, but also respectful. We don't need a TED talk here. Don't go into a whole bunch of why, this is why, just sing a song. Okay, you're going to feel vulnerable, but that's okay. Because trust me, now you're beginning to build a more authentic and real connection when you share your thoughts. Share your opinion, number 5, on day 5, even if it risks a disagreement. People pleasers tend to be agreeable at the cost of authenticity. We talked about this. Offer a real opinion in your conversations that you're having. Just pick one, even if it's unpopular. And don't follow up with, I was just kidding. No, there's none of that. Be real. Honor your opinion, okay? Because this allows you to be seen. Now let's go to day 6. Don't emotionally rescue anyone on this day, okay? It's not your job to regulate everyone else's feelings. If someone is upset, support them without fixing it. Try, that sounds good. Or that sounds really hard. Sorry. I'm here for you. Don't say it sounds good if they're going through something. But like, listen, you're going to feel a little bit useless in the beginning, but you'll also feel free. Now, number 7, day 7 is most important. Reflect. Reflect leads to transformation. Ask yourself, what felt good? What felt hard? Where do I still shrink and cower in situations? Patterns might emerge. You'll start noticing when and where you abandon yourself, and then you will stop. And then what do? We repeat, rinse and repeat, do it over again for another week until saying no becomes comfortable for you in any situation. The moment you stop needing to be liked is the moment you start getting respected. Because listen, not everyone's going to clap for you, and that's okay. They're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're not for everyone, but the right people, the ones who actually love the real you and not the performance of you, they'll lean in closer. And you'll sleep better, you'll eat better, you'll live better, you'll feel better. Okay? So go ahead, start telling the truth this week because you can, and watch what happens and watch how your life gets better. Listen, if you have trouble figuring out how to say no to things that are popping up in your life, visit my website at www.kizirani.com. And there I've created a tip sheet of so many different phrases and ways to say no in different scenarios in your life. So go and get that, and I'll also leave it in the description below. And if this hit home, please drop me a comment and tell me what your day 1 truth is gonna be. And let's heal that out loud, huh? Let's do it.